Hi everyone, Jay Stansell here from the Product Coalition. I'm pleased to be presenting another Product People interview. Today it's with Chitrak, Gangrade from Flipkart in India, and really looking forward to chatting around technology, constraints, and what Chitrak is working with in regards to Flipkart Lite and the telcos over in India as well, and some of the restrictions there. So I'll cut over now to Chitrak, and hopefully we don't have any issues, and we can get started with the interview. So hi Chitrak.
Hi Jay, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us here. Really glad to have you on board and making some time to talk to us today. Do you want to maybe just get started with your background and what you're up to as a product manager, maybe at Flipkart?
Sure. Hi, I'm Chitrak. I'm working as a product manager at Flipkart, and I've been into product for a couple of years now. I've mainly looked at user-facing, consumer-facing product. I've looked, and also I've worked on a few growth projects. So mainly I've worked on Flipkart Lite, which is a progressive web app, and it is designed for the like in India, a lot of users are getting onboarded to the internet and technology right now using smartphones. So I think the PW is a good way to attract them, and because it provides a better experience. And so that is what I've been working mainly with till now. And also from the growth part of it, I've worked at optimizing our Play Store ratings, and I'm also the growth lead for our marketplace model which Flipkart operates on. So a bunch of things here and there.
Fantastic, thank you. So I'm looking forward today to talking about some of the technology constraints that you've got in India. And in our communication prior to this interview, you sent me some really interesting points. And before I go into asking you a few questions, for the rest of the audience watching, I just wanted to share some quick notes I learned around telcos in India. Just a quick Wikipedia search, just to set the context on the market there. So it's a $33 billion, that's US $billion industry in terms of revenue. There's 1.1 billion mobile users, 24 million fixed line users, and in total, the Indian population makes up 13% of the world in terms of internet users. It's the second largest market in the world, which I knew it was a big market and a lot of people there connected. But I found it really interesting to just set the scene with those numbers. Chitrak, one of the really interesting points you've mentioned to me so far is around the limits that people have to work with in India when it comes to the amount of download availability and some of the clever and unique ways people are making the most of their download limits. Could you talk a little bit through that for us?
Sure. So even though India is fast, developing very quickly, and a lot of users are getting onboarded onto internet and technology, there's still a lot of infrastructural issues that we face at the ground level. And to bridge those gaps, the users as well as companies in India and outside have found really clever ways as work around these problems. So, like in India, if you go into the interiors, tier 2, tier 3 cities, rural cities, the internet bandwidth available to them is really low. Like most of them use 2G connection. So, like when I was there talking to these users to understand how they interface with internet, one very interesting thing that I saw was that they do not use like along with Play Store and other sources available to them for downloading apps, they also use a lot of the sharing apps, shared and second apps. How does, because they don't have access to reliable internet at all times, if a family member or a friend has, say, the Facebook app, he can just transfer it to me via this share it app. So there's a big network of it's a good chunk of app installations come via these peer-to-peer sharing apps, which it's very difficult to track. Like, it's very difficult to figure out how many of your app installations are coming via these peer-to-peer sharing. So I think that was something very interesting. I found out about how people work around these internet issues. Like there's like one more example if I have to give you is that because they're on 2G connections, installing an app is a big event. So the behavior that you see in most advanced users that they install the app and they immediately uninstall, that's not seen as much in rural India because they've invested a lot of time and energy in actually downloading that app. So yeah, so it's a little different, and understanding the Indian user is really important if you're building a product tailored for the entire user base of India.
Okay, so I'm hearing there we've got 2G connections, and to spend some data to download an app, people consider that as very precious. And
sure, because it's too slow.
And it's
so
too
it's a
slow.
lot of investment in time.
Yeah, okay. And the way around that is using apps like Share It.
Yeah.
Is this the type of behaviour or pattern that everyone in India is common? Like,
so
do you share apps yourself?
No, so I myself don't generally share apps. I don't even have the peer-to-peer sharing app on my phone. Is it? It's because so India has a wide variety of users. Like I come from the user base which has good internet connection. I have 4G connectivity on my phone. I have Wi-Fi at office. I have Wi-Fi at home. So to me, data is not that valuable. I can just download a movie on my phone, watch a YouTube video on my phone, and not care about it. Whereas a lot of users, because they're on such slow internet connections, to them the investment in time is very valuable.
Okay, and how does this impact the paid mobile app products?
So India is not really like a pay. People don't pay for paid things. So you have like if you're pushing a paid mobile application on India, chances like it's really difficult for you to succeed unless you're targeting a very affluent user market, user base. So in India, most successful apps are free. Paid apps don't really work well.
Okay, interesting. Really good. All right, and one of the other interesting behaviours that are keen to learn about is uninstalling apps and that behaviour. Could you talk to us about that?
Yeah. Yeah, so like I just mentioned that installing an app is a really big deal for users, like especially the rural and tier 2, tier 3 users in India because of low internet connectivity. So they don't really want to uninstall an app. So that being said, users install a very few apps on their phone. The biggest constraint, what I have seen in my experience, is the memory that they have on their phone. So because these users have just onboarded and are not from a very affluent like financially affluent class, they use very low end smartphones, and those low end smartphones have very little memory capability. So they install a very few apps. Like the apps that you'll see they have installed are WhatsApp, Facebook, UC browser, and apart from that they don't install more apps. They or even if they do, they don't keep it because they have this perception that the more apps you install on your phone or the more heavy your phone is, the poorer will be its performance. So like it's coming from, like, it's probably the same way we used to behave when we just got introduced to Windows 98 or Windows 2000. At that time, people were like, if you load too much stuff, if you have too many applications, your laptop or your desktop will go slow. So that's the same kind of tendency, perception that these users have, and because of which they don't try to install too many apps, or even if they install, they'll remove it once they get done with it. If they don't need it on a day-to-day basis, they'll probably remove it.
Okay, I'm getting a real sense of how much more precious the mobile phone is for the type of people you're talking about, and it's it's not as disposable or as easily replaceable as we may, particularly here in Australia, may
Not
consider
at all.
it. It's a very precious item in their life, and as what is on it as well.
Yes, definitely. Because like it's a significant investment for a lot of people to purchase a smartphone, and it is also the first time they have been exposed to internet and technology in real sense. It is the first computing device that they have ever owned. So the kind of opportunity that opens up for them, I think they, like Indian people, do hold their smartphone in really high regard.
Great. It's really interesting. Now, you mentioned about UC browser.
Yeah.
And I understand that it's got a significant market share in India. Do you mind sharing why that is?
Sure. Yeah. So UC browser is like one of my favorite case studies if you're designing a product in India. So, like when you are in the major Indian cities like Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, you will not find a lot of people using UC browser. But as you start making inroads into the interior of India to smaller cities, you will see that a lot of people use UC browser. So, there are multiple reasons for that. So the way UC browser has designed its user interface, the end-to-end experience on UC browser has been tailored really well for the target audience. Like on UC browser, the feedback that I got from users was that you get everything. Like on UC browser, you can download songs, you can download games, you can download apps, you can download music, you can read news, you can read jokes, you can even forward those jokes on WhatsApp. So it's like a one-stop solution. So because the constraint that they have that they cannot install more apps because of the memory constraint on their own, they think UC browser is a one-stop solution to everything. So they use UC browser to access everything apart from the mobile apps that they already own. And also, the tech understanding of these people, because they've been recently onboarded to technology, is quite low. Like one really interesting thing I can talk about is perceived performance. So and then one user I was talking to, he was using UC browser, and he said that UC browser is really fast, which is why I use it over Chrome. And when I asked him why, how do you know if UC browser is fast, he said that the loader that is there on UC browser is moving very quickly, which means the page is loading faster.
Right.
So he doesn't really understand what goes behind the web browser, and just the small hack that or technique which is like make your loader a little faster makes the user think that your browser is fast and is getting him to stick over Chrome, which I think that is like really good user understanding.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting how they've identified a true problem in the market and come up with a unique way to solve that. And I'm certainly going to spend some time having a look at UC browser when I jump off this call and educating myself. Could we jump over to your role with Flipkart, and could you talk to us a little bit around Flipkart Lite and the problems that Flipkart Lite is addressing in the market?
So Flipkart Lite is a progressive web app that is the mobile site for Flipkart. And so we have tried to provide a complete experience to the user on Flipkart Lite. And so because it's a progressive web app, it addresses two major points. Like it has two unique features, I would say. First, it provides a great user experience even on a mobile site, and like it works flawlessly, it's smooth, and it provides we are able to capture in that user delight that you probably see on other modes of access to the internet. So providing a really great user experience, and it also reduces the barrier to entry. Like you don't have to install an app to try out Flipkart. So for users who have this apprehension of downloading app because of data or memory, they can just come to the mobile site, try out what we have to offer, and like check it out and see if they like. They get absorbed into the entire ecosystem that Flipkart has to offer. And also one very unique feature which I feel about Flipkart Lite and I'm very proud of is offline. So like Flipkart Lite works offline. So in India where the internet connections are slow and even flaky, like it's possible that if you're on the road, your internet just goes off. So at that time, Flipkart Lite, because it works offline, is able to like you're able to navigate your way across the web app till the time you get back on internet. So I think that's pretty cool.
Okay, this is really interesting. In terms of product success for Flipkart Lite, is it measured in the same way that Flipkart Mobile would be measured? So are you measuring it on conversions or transactions in the same way that traditional e-commerce apps are measured?
Yeah, okay. So yes and no, both I would say. So metrics like visits, repeat visits, conversion, the like optimizing the entire user funnel. Those are things which are really important for Flipkart Lite. So, and those are the metrics that we definitely look at. But apart from this, there are a lot of things like there are a lot of other primary metrics that we look at. Like for example, how many users are repeating, and is Flipkart Lite acting as a really good acquisition channel? And also, a lot of marketing traffic is directed to Flipkart Lite. So, how is that performing? And how many of our users, once they interact with Flipkart Lite, are they absorbed into the ecosystem? So we have also based on the so like performance is something really important for us, because when you have downloaded a mobile app, you have invested a lot of energy and time, and you're more patient. Whereas on a mobile site, you're not patient. Like if it doesn't load fast enough, you just bounce off. So performance, page load time are something that is very important for Flipkart Lite. Like we have the concept of app shells, wherein we load our pages progressively, as in to update the user as to what is going to come here and provide him with some placeholders with which the user knows what to expect, and because of which our bounce rate goes down. So these are a lot of other things which are unique to the users of Flipkart Lite that we look at, along with the other major business metrics like whether it's conversion that we definitely have to look at.
Okay, that's really unique to hear you talking about that. When it comes to payment gateways on a progressive app like you're talking, and the financial transaction, are the considerations the same or different for that?
As far as payments are concerned, so Indians are generally not very used to online payments. Like if you would, so we have this concept of cash on delivery, wherein if you order something on Flipkart or any other e-commerce app for that matter, the delivery personnel will come to you, hand over you the product, and will take cash money from you. So it's like the people do try to not pay online. So like payment is something that people are really touchy about and are insecure about. And given that Flipkart Lite, there's a lot of traffic coming from tier 2, tier 3, or not that tech savvy users, that I think is a bigger concern for I would not say bigger, but a very important concern for Flipkart Lite. And so we try to design it in a way that the user feels comfortable. We tell him as to how secure we are, and also it also goes with the entire experience on the web app, because the web app is fluid, the experience is smooth, nothing, it doesn't crash, there's no unexpected behavior on the app. So having a smooth overall experience also reinforces the faith in the consumer that okay, this is something I can use my credit card or debit card online with. So so we do take care. We also have like placeholder some communication to the user about how secure it is, how safe it is, etc. So so there's a bunch of things that we try to do to ensure that the user feels comfortable doing online transactions with us.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. When it comes to, we've talked a lot about constraints, but when it comes to the future, and it feels like it's certainly a mobile future for India as opposed to fixed line, wide pipes in the ground. When it comes to the mobile future, what do you see as how the telcos are helping make that much better and brighter than it is now?
So I think this is something very interesting. Like all your viewers would find this very interesting. Is the telco war that is happening presently in India? So the company called Reliance launched a sub company called Jio, which is practically providing 4G internet free to everyone in India. So like anyone can go get a Geo SIM and they can get access to free internet, free 4G internet all over India. So I think that's a really big move, wherein a lot of users who were reluctant about coming online will come online, and India will see a surge of internet users coming into the market. And because it's also fast internet, their expectation from I mean, my experience, like few people that I've spoken to are seen using 2G are more patient because they know that their internet is slow. But once they get onboarded into 4G, I think their expectation from the products that they use would be much higher, and it would become even more difficult for it would become very important for all people working in the internet consumer space to ensure that they're offering the same quality benchmark and experience benchmark to all their users. I think it's a very interesting place to be. I would love to see how this telco war evolves, and finally they will have to settle at some price. So what price is it, and how many users do move away from the platform because of this price, and how many stick back, and what would be the impact that they have on the Indian economy? I think that would be really interesting to see.
Fantastic. Well, it certainly sounds, if nothing else, it will help drive competition to make 4G more affordable. From what I understand,
and also as I was mentioning, the next set of users that are going to onboard, like come online, I think how would they behave? How would their expectations be? How would they transact online? I think it's not been a gradual change, and because of this sudden move, a lot of people have come online. So I think it would be interesting how companies react to that, and how do they modify or change their products to accommodate these new set of users that are suddenly come into the market.
Definitely. Fantastic. Talking about a little bit around yourself and product manage Chitrak, what does a day in the life as a product manager look like for you?
Okay. Product management is like taking on a lot of hats for me. So it's ensuring that you stand by your consumer, ensuring that the user gets the right thing, and also ensuring that your team gets whatever they need. So like I take it very personally to ensure that if there is a requirement for my team, is there something that I can help my team with? I get in there and bridge those gaps. So be it design, be it business, be it technology, I try to get in and fix whatever gap I can, ensuring that the development team understands the motive of what we are building, the moonshot, the north star of why we are building this product. They're motivated enough to work in the same direction. They understand our ideology behind building the product, and then work cohesively together as a team to build that product. So I think it's like an average day in my life is a lot of running around, a lot of discussions, a lot of brainstorming, and a lot of testing things out. Like at the end of the day, you don't really know what would work, what would not work. You just have your hypothesis. So running it by a bunch of people, running it with the users, running A/B tests, running user studies, running data tests, looking at past data, coming up with more hypotheses. I think that is something I'm really excited about going. That is what makes me excited about going to work every day.
I certainly feel that and feel your passion for the industry and the constraints you're working with and the solution with Flipkart Lite. So thank you for sharing so much of that with us. It's been really interesting to talk to you and learn so much about the constraints that you're working with in India and,
it's been a pleasure.
These types of solutions. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
It was lovely talking to you.
All good. And I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Sure, definitely.
Thanks, Chitrak.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye.
So there we go. That's Chitrak Gangrade. Chitrak's a product manager of Flipkart Lite over in India. I found that a very insightful interview to learn about constraints, certainly things that I don't consider thinking about front of mind here in Australia when it comes to products, mobile products, apps, etc. So I found that very unique. If you'd like to be interviewed in a session like this, feel free to reach out to me. It's jay@productcoalition.com. And if you've got any feedback or comments on these interviews, please do share those with me as well. And I look forward to presenting something similar from someone else somewhere else in the world very soon for you. Thanks. Bye-bye.